Hello, Chicago. Coming to you from Studio C at AM 560. The Answer, it's the IRS Radio Hour.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
This show is sponsored by the law office of Stephen A. Leahy, PC, and Opem Tax Resolutions.
God bless you, Opem Tax Resolution.
That makes me laugh. Ladies and gentlemen, usually it's Stephen Leahy, Attorney Stephen Leahy, doing the introduction because he's our host. But today's show is a little bit different because Attorney Leahy has been traveling this great state. He did travel a great state, though. This great country of ours, coming from South Carolina all the way to Chicago in a 16-hour span. Isn't that right, Attorney Leahy?
Wow. It's true.
Yeah, that's he's not the comment from the peanut gallery over there. But ladies and gentlemen, Opem helps people achieve full financial recovery. Can we say that together?
Full financial recovery.
Dealing with IRS problems, audits, levies, liens, garnishments, collections, unfiled tax returns, and payroll tax issues. He also deals with mortgage foreclosures, and when I mean he, the company, loan modifications, bankruptcy, and other debt-related issues. So if you have any of these problems or know someone who does, you should give them a call at 312-664-6649. Again, I am usually the co-host, Jim Leahy. But today, it's my turn, my show, my life. And our co-host is Attorney Stephen Leahy.
But we have to introduce our technical producer.
I was getting there. I'm following the script that you have written out.
Okay.
I would like to introduce...
we do talk about debt-related issues on the show, but we also talk about family and sports and Chicago and South Carolina. We talk about these things on this show.
These things that are important to you.
Let's say
I do it better
than you do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now that we're through our introduction, and hello, Debbie. How was your Easter?
It was wonderful. I hope you guys had a good Easter.
Forget it. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been here because we weren't here last week.
I know. Well, we were here last week.
I know. The show was here last week.
We were here last week.
We had Mr. Marisi on the show last week. And I listened to the show, and I thought it went rather well.
That's good. I thought it was really well, too, when I was doing it. I thought it was...
You didn't listen last week?
No, I lived it. I live it, baby. I live it.
I understand.
Well, it's going right down to the wire. It's our first segment. The News Roundup.
Review and comment on the news.
And it's a ridiculous thing to say that there is a lot of news this week, but there is.
Well, I think what we were going to talk about this week is our president, who's going off the wall on all things.
He's off the reservation. He's like Geronimo.
Unbelievable. We had the clip, but we're not going to play it today. But we'll
play it next week because you are going to be somewhere.
I am going to be in Mexico.
Mexico, baby.
Where is it? Las Cabos. With Dan and Amy. Me.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Very good, Debbie.
Buenos dias.
So I'm going with the crowd from 560, The Answer, and Dan and Amy are doing their show from down in Las Cabos.
Are we going to go down there? So you're bringing me, right?
No. You're not going. But I am bringing my wife, and I don't know.
She sounds like she'd be a lot more fun.
I say to you, listen to the show, Dan and Amy's show. I may make a guest appearance. They may ask me questions.
Oh, wow.
I'll try to do it before I have a cocktail. Even though
do it while you're having a cocktail.
They have
That's
it's like
radio.
an all-inclusive thing, and I'm not generally going to drink before. I don't think I'll start the morning drinking. Although they do say you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. Okay, but I'm not much of one to drink all day.
They always say it's always noon in Mexico.
I don't drink. It's
always high noon.
I'll wait till.
I don't know.
I've
never left the country. I wouldn't know. Was this your first time?
Are you kidding? I've been all over the world. Canada. I've been there.
Wow.
That's my out of the country.
Are you going to go fishing?
I don't know if we're going to. We were supposed to go fishing in South Carolina.
It's that 16-hour
go. But anyway, let's talk about Obama because we were talking about his clip about his being about
basically, and I'll play it next week for you because again,
the capitalist communist.
But our dear president, our fearless leader, has stated that there's no difference between capitalism or communism. It's just whatever works.
As a kid, you shouldn't be strapped to some philosophy. Just use whatever works. That's right. Use whatever works.
Communism.
The problem is that
I'm the President of the United States. I'm not the Emperor of the United States.
But he is acting like the Emperor more and more. Like, did you hear?
I know.
Did you hear about the media? He comes out. You guys got to really come down and ask better questions. You're not doing a very good job. Here's from the guy who nobody ever asked him a question. Also the guy who the Freedom of Information Act requests go unanswered at a record pace. The guy who hasn't sat down with the press in almost 2 years. I don't know if people realize this. Sure, he goes to these talk radio shows and appears on these podcasts, but he hasn't sat down with the press and answered questions in almost 2 years. It's been unbelievable.
It's amazing.
So here's a guy who's going to tell them how they should how they should conduct this.
This is the guy we elected, ladies and gentlemen. This is everybody who has voted that man.
Wait for this election.
For that man. That's what you
wait for this election. I think
not
that
changing
because he really wants to be involved in this. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be not the most important guy in the room.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna take a back seat. No. They're living in Washington,
he will not
D.C. They're living in Washington, D.C.
I heard that. No president. Well, I shouldn't say no president because probably Washington. No, Washington lived in Virginia after his presidency, right? Because he went to Mount Vernon.
I don't know. I'm going to have to do I'll do the research next show. Next
if anybody's ever stayed in Washington,
I'm sure that they have. Yeah, they have because William Taft.
Because he became the congressman.
Yes, he did.
That's right. So that's probably true. Okay, so that's right. You guys are just being biased against Obama because he did stuff. Now, what else I
when
wanted?
You've loved and lost like Barack has.
But this is huge because I think he's all over the place now, criticizing everybody. Remember what he used to say? I'm the best. For my political guy, I'm better at politics. For my policy guy, I'm better at policy. He's the best out there, and he thinks he's the best at everything, and he's going to let everybody know it in the next couple of months coming up to the election, and he's going to be involved. I can't see him sitting back and not saying anything. But I also wanted to talk about the primaries and how this is going, because I don't know if I've changed my mind about it, but if a candidate does not get enough delegates to win the nomination, is it wrong that he doesn't win? Let's say Trump comes up and he gets 1,100 instead of the 1,234.
I know what you're going to ask here. But,
is it wrong? Would it be wrong for them not to pick him?
It's weird because
if he didn't get enough, the purpose of that number is to say, okay, you have enough support in the nation that we want you to be our candidate. But if you don't get that number, then you're showing I don't really have that much support. Should I be the candidate? That's kind of what someone said, and I thought this was interesting. Then it'll be up to Donald Trump to use his powers of negotiation to get the nomination rather than through the delegaats. Because he's got to negotiate. Someone's got to come together. Either Cruz and Kasich or Cruz and Trump. These two guys got to come together and try to get this nomination. Because you leave it to the party, they're going to give it to someone. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they'll give it to like Paul Ryan or something.
I don't know. That's weird.
It is weird, isn't it? I personally don't think Donald Trump is going to get the nomination.
I don't think he is either.
I don't think he's going to do it. I really don't. There's no way the establishment's going to let him have it.
I don't think it's the establishment.
Take a look at my Twitter account.
I love that. But I don't think it's so much that the party won't. The delegates won't, right? The delegates are the one that are going to choose. They're only bound on the first vote. After the first vote, anything goes. And so it's not really up to the party. It's up to the delegates. So whoever can smooth them all to bring them onto their side. And maybe Ted Cruz can. Maybe he can't. I don't know. But I think if he got Kasich and they got together and they said, okay, let's get this on the first vote, they could do it.
Well, I'll tell you what.
They won't.
If you have the IRS not on your side and they're going against you, there's only one person, there's only one team you can call, and that's the Opem Tax Resolution team at 312-664-6649. Visit them at chicagotaxteam.com. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, we are just starting the show off. We will be right back after the commercial break with more IRS Radio Hour coming at you.
Right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy. Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans recover from financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back after that commercial break by our lovely sponsors, Opem Tax Resolutions and the Law Office of Stephen A. Leahy. And with our very special guest today, Stephen Leahy.
That's right. I am your very special guest, and I thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
I wasn't on the schedule to appear today.
I was going to bring my friend Kyle on and my friend Justin on, and we were going to talk about funny stuff. Yeah, cars.
So He-Man?
Yeah, Matchbox cars.
Did I ace them out then?
Well, no, my buddy Kyle bought a Ducati. I just think it's funny. I was going to talk about the Ducati.
I think it's
Ducati
funny.
Devils.
Watch your mouth.
Devil?
With that
Ducati.
word.
Anyway, I did get a call. I mentioned in the last segment that I'm going away with the crowd from AM 560, The Answer. And we're leaving early tomorrow on Saturday morning.
How early?
I got a call today from my friend, 5 a.m. 7 a.m. the plane leaves. I got a call today from my friend, and I told him this, that I was leaving, and but I got a call from my friend David Hochberg today.
David.
And he says, Steve, I want you to wear your fedora and come on the show tomorrow. And I said, David, I'm going to Mexico tomorrow.
Record this. Where's your, ladies and gentlemen, tell him about, okay, so here's the thing. This goes with what I'm going to ask you. This segment is the blog segment.
Generally?
The blog.
That's it.
Our blog segment. But it's a little different this week because you just got back from vacation.
I did.
Let's hear about it. Tell me about it.
Well,
because first
off, let me tell you that I got a new vehicle. And these new vehicles, they drive themselves. It's unbelievable. So I'm on the highway.
Hoverboard?
I'm on the highway driving down to South Carolina. And it's a 15-hour ride. The cruise control on these things is incredible because the car, not only does it go whatever you tell it to go, but if there's a car in front of you, you can tell, okay, stay 4 car lengths away. It stays 4 car lengths away.
Wow.
And you don't have to, you never have to touch the gas or the brake. It just kind of moves by itself. And then it's got the left and right lane. So if you start going,
does it shake the seat?
Yeah, it kind of shakes the wheel and it kind of pulls you back. It's the thing kind of.
Did you take a nap while you were driving?
You could have almost. It was unbelievable. I'm telling you, it was so comfortable to drive. I think that's why we drove all night coming back because first off, there was no traffic, so we just kind of whiz right through. And you're going now with.
Well, speaking of,
remember a couple years ago, it was
how
55.
Many pit stops did you have to take?
Only 3. I only stopped for gas. A couple to my wife. Well, we gotta go to the bathroom. We'll make it another 50 miles. We'll make it. She always gets me. No, we got to stop now. Oh, we'll make it. We got another 45 minutes. We'll make it. We'll stop.
I wish we were mathematicians. Were you going about 80 miles per hour, 50 miles?
Well, this is what I was going to mention because remember, a couple years ago the speed limit was 55 all over America, but it's not 55 anymore. It's 70. It's 70 most places, and I think in the range, the legal range might give you up to 80. I don't want to go much faster than 80.
This is brought upon because my good friend Sammy Hagar brought that up.
I don't drive 55.
You can't. Because my car only goes 54.
So in the new vehicle that I have, I can set it so my kids can go no faster than 80 miles or anything I pick. If I say, and also it controls the volume. So if I don't want them to put loud music on, it's unbelievable what these things do. But anyway, if driving down there was great, and I got to say, South Carolina, I had never been in the Atlantic. I did jump in the Atlantic, and I want to say that the Atlantic was saltier than I like my fries. That's how salty it was. I was like, and I didn't drink it or anything. It just on me. It was like, hey, exactly. So we made a day trip to Savannah, Georgia, and
you got a new hat.
No, I didn't. I didn't get that in Savannah, Georgia.
Where'd you get that?
I have had that for a long time.
You didn't get that hat in the South?
I did not get that hat in the South. That's a Dobbs I wore. I ordered it some time ago.
Why am I calling you the Colonel?
I don't know, because I look like the Colonel in it. But anyway, we went to Paula Dean's restaurant, and I guess she lost her show. But I'm gonna tell you, the food there, the food was awesome.
Did you see her
talk about fried chicken? I mean, and I had beef stew, fried chicken, banana pudding, cornbread. It was the Unbelievable. The
banana
greens.
pudding.
So hungry.
Oh my gosh.
I was really impressed. Usually I go to these places, I'm disappointed, but it was really good, and it wasn't that expensive.
Did you see the video of her a couple of years ago? She got hit in the face with a turkey.
Oh, I didn't.
Somebody ran up to her and just threw a turkey right
But I
in her
got to
face.
also say, you could see that Savannah, Georgia's been there since the 1700s or something. Right on the river. They got these really old buildings.
Did you mention William Tecumseh Sherman?
I did not.
Yeah, you should have.
I kept it to myself.
You out of there.
I had my Cubs stuff on, so you know how many people around the country say that, hey, go Cubs, go Cubs. I always have my Cubs stuff on. I don't mean to. It's just the way I dress, unless I'm in a suit, which is what, which I do a lot.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go to Mexico. I was just in South Carolina. We're going to go to Mexico. I will not be here. There will be no surprise guest appearance next Friday because I won't be here. Never know.
Let's not say.
And then when I come home,
but it's from Stephen Leahy.
And then when I come home, that Monday is opening day.
And guess who's got their tickets?
I got my tickets.
Guy.
I'm going.
I'm going too.
So I don't know. So I don't know who's.
So I get to see my co-host.
It'll be awesome.
I get to see my co-host.
I'm really excited about baseball. I don't know why, but I haven't seen a lot of baseball this year. I don't know why.
Because they haven't aired the games. They haven't aired the games on until like the last 2 weeks.
So I was listening a little bit, but I see the replays at night. I know they've been hitting the ball out of the park.
I'm not worried about their
I'm not worried about it. But let me also talk about we went to Hilton Head Island.
Oh, okay.
It was very nice. Huge beach. I mean, 12-mile beach.
Was there alligators?
We did see an alligator right outside of our door. We came out. There was probably a 6-foot alligator, right by our door. And there was a big sign that said, "Do not feed the alligators. $10,000 penalty."
Did it mention anything about wrestling the alligators?
And nobody asked about you when I was there. I know you always ask me that.
How did they not do that? Does anybody listen to the show?
No, nobody knew me. But that was kind of the beach was. And it was kind of summer down there. We had one day of 83 degrees, 84 degrees in the sun. I'm a big puffy white man, and I got really red. Okay, because it's only a couple hours out in the sun.
I thought you were just happy to see me.
It doesn't take much for me to burn. I'm telling you,
I'm the same way.
But I got it's a good base for Mexico.
You got the base coat down. I like it. Just make sure they have SPF 100. Just throw that on.
You got the light burn in South Carolina, and you can get the deep burn in Mexico.
Yeah.
I never use the SPF or anything like that. But I will. This was a learning experience. So don't do it. Don't, because I know the sun down there is supposed to be really.
Yes, you're right next to the equator.
Yeah, so I think maybe I'll put something on. So, my back's been itching since.
I had a story. The first time I ever really, I was a kid and I didn't realize you can get sunburn when it's cloudy out. So I was fishing all day without my shirt on. I'm like, it's fine. And I'm sitting there and just 2 days later, I couldn't sleep.
I know it does happen.
So I don't take my shirt off.
I understand.
I'm working on that beach body, but I'm still not going to take the shirt off.
Well, I figure I'm on the beach. I should go take my shirt off. And again, it wasn't that, and I don't take my shirt off very much either.
Yeah.
So,
they had the beach patrol came up. Excuse me, sir. There's a whale that washed up. I'm sorry.
We had a
16-hour
drive back. I did it in one fell swoop. 16 hours from the time we left to the time we got back. We left at 12 o'clock Central Time and arrived at 4 o'clock in the morning.
I've done that before. So
we tried to close. We're going to stop. But again, the traffic was wide open and you just keep going, man. It's just go. As long as I wasn't falling asleep.
What was the best town you drove through or the best site you saw?
It's dark out. When we were driving there, you drive through the mountains into Tennessee and
you were in the Smoky Mountains?
North Carolina. Very pretty. But when we were driving there, it was the middle of the night. We didn't see any of that. But coming back, we saw they call it the Smoky Mountains, and I see why. It's so beautiful because the mountains always have clouds all over them. Very pretty. Very nice.
I've never seen a mountain range.
I would say to anybody, go there. It's not that big. I was thinking when cars drive themselves, we could just get in the car and wake up in the morning and be in South Carolina. It'd be great. So anyway.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be in South Carolina, and the IRS is coming after you. There is only one company and one team that you can call and contact, and that is Opem Tax Resolutions at 312-664-6649, or visit them at chicagotaxteam.com. They are true professionals and will get you through your crisis.
It's true, and we're going to talk about the IRS in the next segment because we're going to do an IRS saga.
So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560.
The answer.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy on AM 560, The Answer. Attorney Stephen Leahy brings his passion and expertise to your radio each and every week during the IRS Radio Hour. Tune in, take notes, and be educated. Learn your options resolving financial obstacles that face so many. And now, back to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on AM 560, The Answer. It's the IRS Radio Hour, and we are back from our commercial break, and I am not Stephen Leahy, but he is my special guest. Stephen.
I am.
You are. That 16-hour drive has taken a toll.
It has taken a toll. But I'm
But ladies and gentlemen,
ready to go.
if you have any IRS problems, is like we've been saying, this man drove 16 hours, has gone through
to be
no
here today,
sleep, and he is still here. That is his work
I want to say
ethic.
something about last week. I thought Debbie made a very good point. That if you have a question and we're not talking about it on the show, call me.
That
I'll talk
is a
to you.
good point, yes.
I'll have a special segment just with you on the telephone, and I'll tell you. I'll answer your
You know what?
IRS
Not even
problems.
that. We'll have a special, just like the lady who called a couple of weeks ago, who was asking about a little more serious discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And we apologize, ma'am, that today is.
I hope she's still listening.
We hope so as well. It's just we haven't been. I haven't seen my dear uncle in ages. But
It's
if
true.
you have a question, give us a call, and we'll bring it up on the show, and
That's
we'll
right.
talk about it.
We will.
So feel free to give us a call at 312-664-6649 and tell them how good of a job I am doing.
That's right. I
Mention Jimmy.
I tell them all the time what a great job it is. But let's now do the IRS saga.
And this week's segment of As the IRS Turns, Koskinen,
Wherever we can, we follow the law.
Barry Sotero,
Not even mass corruption, not even a smidgen of corruption.
and that ever-favorite Lois Lerner is herself
Thank you. I'm not good at math.
for another week of As the IRS Turns. I'm Gaga for the saga. We need to throw one more clip in after that. Just
There'll be
clip
there'll be no more time. Okay, so
I love it.
we run out of time here, but I wanted to talk about two important stories that
Okay, bring it
go
up.
to the saga. One is this appeal, and we talked a lot on this show about that. There is a case that they brought in the federal court. I think it's Tom Fenton and Judicial Watch, and they're the ones that have really been driving this story. And the IRS had said, no, we can't give you that information because that's privileged information. So they're turning the law on its head because they're trying to get information from the IRS, and the IRS is saying a law designed to protect the taxpayer, they're using it to protect themselves, and it's been a farce all along. But now the Sixth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals has said that that position that the IRS has taken is meritless. And now they're making them reveal this information, who they targeted, what specific Tea Party organizations were targeted. Because what they've saying is happening is, because you've heard this, they did some Democratic liberals groups too, but they did that at the end to kind of cover themselves.
Yep,
so then they say, because they say, well, look, there's all these taxpayers. Oh, but we also did it to these groups. But they did it to those liberal groups in order to throw then they don't want to tell you who's in the group, so you can't tell.
Okay, but what's the second one?
So Judicial Watch is making a class action lawsuit against the IRS, and
As
this is letting this class action lawsuit go forward, because without the names, you don't know who you can go after. Okay, so anyway, that's the first story. The second story, and I think it's funny, we talk a lot about on this show because John Koskinen is always complaining that there's not enough money. We don't have enough money. We can't do anything. We can't go after
$20 billion.
people. One of the things he's talking about now is we can't audit anybody, and it's costing us over almost $1 trillion a year. So it's the same thing all politicians do, right? Whatever hurts the most, do that, and then you could say that's why we need more money because we can't get more money. It's a farce in my humble opinion. But a capitalist group came forward and has come up with a phone robot that you pay them and they'll keep your spot on the IRS quiche on the queue for you. They charge you for it.
That's a great idea.
It is a great idea. They'll charge you for it, but the
IRS is making quiche.
They
need more money. Did they have Paula Dini doing
a breakfast place now?
I always get that. Is a quiche is a Q? Everybody says I don't know what it is.
Potato.
That's right.
Koskinen's donut shop.
So anyway, now this group comes out with they'll charge you to stand in line for you. They don't really have someone stand in line. It's a robot. Robots are taking all the jobs, Jim. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. So anyway, I think these are two stories are pretty for the saga to show that the IRS they're still out there. They're still coming after you. They're not gonna. They're saying that they're not doing as many audits, but they're going to do audits. If you're thinking you're going to get by, you're going to be the one they're coming after, and they're probably coming after you now.
Remember, as we said, don't think you can hide from the problem.
That's
they will find you.
You can't.
And if the IRS is coming after you, there's only one tax team that you can call in the Chicagoland area, and that is the law office of Stephen A. Leahy and Opem Tax Resolutions at 312-664-6649. Trusted and ready to handle your situation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because after the commercial break, we'll be coming right at you here on AM 560.
The Answer.
Welcome back to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy. Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans recover from financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome back. Today, I am your co-host, and we have returned, and I'm here with my host, Jimmy Leahy.
Hello.
And we're going to go right into it with Rocky.
And now, here's that man with a head just crammed full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
And today, Jimmy is Mr. Know-It-All. And what we're going to ask, I have a good question for Jimmy.
And I have an answer.
Because it is April, beginning of April. And what does that mean to you, listeners? Same thing to us?
Easter eggs?
No, that was last weekend.
Sale on Easter candy.
You know that's true.
Oh, I've been there.
It's cheap.
I know. Wow.
The Walgreens is full of it.
I'm saving up for next year, baby.
So it's like after Halloween, right? That's what you buy.
That's the worst day of the year.
But anyway, today I'm going to ask our host about his, what does he think April, what is that, Jim? What does April bring for you?
April showers bring opening day.
That is true. And one thing I told you, I was in South Carolina and it was summer there, so I kept thinking about baseball. When I got out of the car this morning, it was like 37 degrees or something. It's cold. And that's what reminds me of opening day. It's cold.
Opening day is coming, baby. And I'm going. I'll be there. You're going to be there.
I am going to be there.
A friend of mine, Alex Gordon, she's going to be there too.
So tell me about the Cubs this year. What do you think?
You know what? This year, I think it comes down to pitching. It all is going to depend on how the pitching is going to perform. I mean, look, ladies and gentlemen, it's so easy to say, oh, yeah, well, they're going to go all the way. They're going to do it. That's ridiculous to even say.
I agree with
I think that what we should do is put a hope like they can make the playoffs.
Like last year.
And I'm not saying that they're not built for that kind of run. I'm just saying it is so hard.
Well, who knew last year that they would win 97 games?
Who knew?
I mean, you could never have guessed that. It was never. So now were they supposed to win 97 games? I don't think any team is supposed to win 97 games.
Who knew? I'm just saying that don't put this belief that they're going to I'm so sick of it. Like, why us as Cubs fans got to sit there and go, oh, yeah, start talking a bunch of smack like we've won something. Guys, yeah, we got a pretty good team that's going to take the field this year, but so much happens within 162 games. Not even that. I mean, it comes down to pitching. Our offense looks like it's firing on all cylinders. I mean, if you take a look at it, we're not going to have problems scoring runs, but you can score 15 runs a game, but if you can't hold the other team...
Let me ask you this, Jim. What does this have to do with the IRS?
This has to do with the IRS because they're always up to bat, and they're always striking out. They're always trying to strike you out. No, they're always trying to strike. They're always trying to strike you out. And why would you not have why would you not have a good coach, good pitching staff behind you, such as Opem Tax Resolutions?
So that's very good, Jim. Thank you for that. That's it. They're your Chicago tax team, and this is our Chicago baseball team.
Yes.
That's very good.
Why would you not? So 312-664-6649.
That is correct. ChicagoTaxTeam.com. So we have Kawasaki gone. Victorino, they put him down.
And they all signed him.
And then they signed him the next day so they could save some money. And Baez is out, right?
Yeah, with the thumb injury. So it really comes down to injury.
So what do you think about the opening day rotation?
I think that we're going to have to see how that blister plays out for Jake Arrieta. It's hard to be.
I did not know he had a blister.
Yep, he actually. Yeah, because you've been gone.
I've been trying to keep tabs, but I did not know that.
They were playing on ESPN. He was playing against the San Francisco Giants. He had a blister on his finger. Wasn't able to throw. Got lit up.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
When was
he
that?
gave up like 7 runs.
Is that right?
Like a week and a half ago. His blister's fine.
Okay.
It's fine, though. Ladies and gentlemen, it's okay. Don't jump. Yeah, don't jump. It's fine. He's going to be okay.
Well, I've been noticing that I know they had a slow beginning of the season, of the spring training season, but I know they've been hitting the ball out of the park in the last...
That's not what I'm worried about.
And I don't want to leave out our Southside team, but here's the thing. I don't know anything about them, so I can't say.
And to the Southside brethren, baseball brethren, not really brothers.
Yeah, pick your team and support them.
All I have to say is I've seen teams do what you've done, improper grammar. I've seen teams like yours. I've seen teams fight.
I have.
I've seen it. And I'm sorry, it's just a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
But you never know.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's what I love about baseball. That's what's so great about April. Because even as a Cub fan,
yes,
no, I got to say, there's been many. By the end of April, we've been out of the game.
There's been many March and April where it starts. You go, oh, and this is what I'm trying to tell the White Sox fans. I'm not saying that it's all over. It's done. But
I know
what happened during spring training. That's not really good. You don't want that to happen. I mean, this has been taken out of context, blown apart by every sports.
Are they still talking
station.
about it? I haven't been here for a week, so I don't know.
They've been talking a little bit. They did a little bit about it. They bring up Drake LaRoche and poor kid, you know.
Well,
but what scares me the most is your top pitcher doing what he did. Even though next game he comes out and throws, spring training, he just lights it up.
So you got Arrieta, you got John Lester, Lackey, Hamill, and Hendricks. Pretty good rotation.
Well, we'll see, because Lackey had the best season he's ever had. Last year was his best season. So,
but he's our number 3 pitcher.
I know.
So anyway, go ahead, tell me.
I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
I get confused because I usually answer, but today it's all about Jimmy, and next week it'll be more all about Jimmy because I won't be here to steal his thunder.
And ladies and gentlemen, your opening day starter against the IRS could be Stephen Leahy and Opem Tax Resolutions, a 1-2 combo. So if you have any tax problems, give them a call at 312-664-6649 or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com.
Very good, Jim. And we're going to close up the show in our next...
A little more baseball.
And a little more
here
baseball.
On AM 560, The Answer.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy on AM 560, The Answer. Attorney Stephen Leahy brings his passion and expertise to your radio each and every week during the IRS Radio Hour. Tune in, take notes, and be educated to learn your options resolving financial obstacles that face so many. And now, back to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. after that wonderful commercial break by our station sponsors.
One of those sponsors is Opem Tax Resolutions. And I know they do their commercial in between each of our segments. So,
guy sounds.
And I think that's me talking.
That is Attorney Stephen Leahy. He is the special guest.
Sean Hannity is right. That's
yes.
I could do it live for you, but I'll listen to it later.
Yeah, no. We're not gonna spoil it for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this show has been a little unorthodox. I just want to reiterate again: if we didn't go over any topics that doesn't, that you wanted a little more information, give us a call 312-664-6649. We will talk about it on the show.
That's
In
right.
fact, from now on, if there's any point where you're not getting all the information you need, you could get. Am I correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Call me directly.
Free consultation.
Free consultation. So
but not even the free consultation. We'll talk about it on the show even as well.
That's right. That's right. But I will give you a free consultation. If you call and ask me a question, first off, if you call, talk to Bonnie and tell her you want a free consultation over the phone. I'll talk to you over the phone. You don't even have to come in the office. And I'll answer your questions.
Can you Skype as well? Are you good at doing that?
I have a online meeting room, so I don't know.
So
but
I'm
that's
just
better
asking.
than Skyping because I can describe everything to you. But that's just call for a telephone if you want to come in. Come on in. You want to do
or we'll talk about it on the radio.
We'll do it online. You want to talk about it on the radio? We'll talk about it on the radio.
So I just want to make sure 312-664-6649. You'll hear that number again before the last 2 minutes here. Just wanted to go over. Thank you, my very special guest, Stephen Leahy. Ladies and gentlemen, he should
be
here right now. Not like saying,
I did give Jimmy the option to do the show. Can I come in too, Jim? He said he had to think about it, but he let me come in. God bless you, Jimmy.
I didn't want you to be tired after a 16-hour drive.
I understand.
That's devotion. That's the kind of devotion.
I don't want to hold it out for you and then take it away from you too.
Well, speaking about hold out, I'm holding out for the Hawks.
Oh, we were just talking about that because the Hawks. I gotta say, they make some of the goals.
Blackhawks.
They just look so awesome. But then
I don't know if I'm scared or not.
They lose. They're losing. But then
yeah. That's what I was just telling you. It's like, oh my God, they're losing. It's awful. They're 44-26. They're like 18 games above 500. Even though they had that amazing streak in the beginning, it's kind of fallen down now.
They won the 12 games in a row, didn't they?
Look, they don't do anything this year. They don't do anything. I just am saying.
I'm not giving up on them.
I'm not either. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like the Bears that 1 year where it's like, just never 2001 where Mike Brown.
Out of nowhere, out of nowhere.
It was awesome.
So again, I have to say though, you watch some of the highlights, and they have great highlights. These guys are on. I mean, nobody passes like the Hawks. Unbelievable. They got hosts. Go to the list. The guys are awesome. Even though
Host was out, and
I know he's
Duncan Keith is being suspended, and then Corey Crawford has his injury,
out. Yeah,
and then you have hey.
We're going to regroup. We're going to come back. We're going to be stronger than ever.
Have the Hawks ever faced adversity with this squad?
Adversity's good,
yes,
though.
They have. Yes, they have. And if you're looking for a highlight reel, go to ChicagoTaxTeam.com because you will not only be able to get the tax information you need if you're having an issue, you can also see previous episodes of the IRS Radio Hour. You can go on YouTube, look up the IRS Radio Hour.
That's right. We're on SoundCloud. Go to SoundCloud and look up the IRS Radio Hour. We have a YouTube channel. You can view the show. We put the show up on video every week. So join us. Come on and look at it. If you got a question, it's answered there. So go there. You'll find the answer to your question. Or call me at 312-664-6649. Again, that number is 312-664-6649.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Same bat time, same bat channel. Next week,
join Jimmy next week by himself.
IRS Radio Hour on AM 560.
The answer.